Hey, Chuck here, Corner Store Card Collector, and I am back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to do two 20-card PSA reveals that I received in the mail the other day. So let's get the camera turned around and I'll show you what I got. All right, hang on. All right, as I was saying, I did get two PSA orders back in the mail the other day. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I got in those two submissions that I did. But before I do so, I did get a small mail day. I want to show you the two cards that I picked up. They both go to my 1978 Topps PSA set. So the first one I got is this Sherman Smith in a PSA 8. Nice card. I think I paid $9 for that one. And then the second one is this PSA 8 of Isaac Curtis. And I think, again, it was probably $8 or $9, maybe $10 for this one. All right, so those are two new additions to my PSA 1978 Topps set. All right, so now I did get two orders back. The first one I'll show, this one right here. I just for reference here, I sent this order in back in November time frame, so it looks like PSA received it on November 10th. Marine Corps birthday, actually. Look at that. I sent 20 cards in and they were, what is that, $18.99 a card. What's weird about this one, no, that's the other one, I'm sorry. Let me see here. No, it's this one. So I have a $150 credit. I don't know how many of you PSA submission guys had received an email from PSA during that time offering a $150 coupon to apply toward your next submission. So I used it on this one. So it brought the cards down to, I think, $15.99 a card. So the total order for 20 cards with shipping cost me $275.18. So not a bad submission. This submission I did pretty good on. At least I like to think I did. So let me show you what I got. First, the bad news. So there's one card that I did not get graded, and I will show you. It's this 1984 Topps Joe Montana. Oops. The glossy send-in, minimum size required, so it's saying that the card was too small. It does look like it might be off-center top to bottom. I believe that minimum size required does not get a charge on it, so that one did not get graded. All right, so here we go. Card number one. Got this 1989 Topps traded Nolan Ryan in a PSA 8. And this one, this order I think was from 1980 to present. So this order was 1980 to present. That's the first one. Second one is this 1980 Louis Kelcher in a PSA 9. Next, I have this 2022 Mosaic Josh Allen Green in a PSA 8. Can't find anything wrong with it. These newer cards are, you know, almost guaranteed at least a 9, so I don't know why this one got an 8. But it's a Josh Allen card. Unfortunately, he didn't have too good of a game yesterday during that Chiefs Bills championship game. So hopefully next year he rebounds from it. Here's a 1981 Topps Walter Payton in a PSA 8. I apologize for the dogs barking. Hopefully they don't continue. Next I have this 81 Topps Joe Green in a 7. When I send my cards in, I typically expect to get at least an 8 on them. So when they come back 7 or lower, which I do have a few, kind of a waste of money. But anyways, there's a 7. Next up, this 1982 Topps Dan Hampton in a PSA 9. Nice Nice card. Got this 1984 Topps Mike Webster in an 8. Boomer Esiason rookie in a 6. Not sure where I went wrong on this one. Came back a 6 though. Next up, Roger Clemens, this 87 Topps in a 9. Here's another bust. Walter Payton 86 Topps in a PSA 4. I can see that there's some whitening up here. I mean, I would have never sent this card in. I don't know how I sent this one in with such soft corners. The only thing I can think of is maybe I was looking at some of these cards in the dark and didn't double check them when they went into the sleeves to be shipped to PSA, but that I would have never sent that in. That's not a very good looking card. Anyways, it is what it is. Next up is this 86 Dan Marino in a PSA 8. Next up, my only 10 in the order is this 1992 Finest Thurman Thomas in a 10. Got a couple of hockey cards in here. 1981 Topps Bobby Clark in an 8. Looks like he may have been in a fight or something. Pretty rugged photo. Next I have this 1984 Topps Tom Barrasso in a PSA 8. Might be his rookie card. I think it is. Yeah, it's his rookie card. He was a standout goalie for the Sabres for many years. I think he then went to Pittsburgh or Philadelphia after leaving Buffalo. Next up, a 1984 Topps Wayne Gretzky in a PSA 8. It's another Tom Barrasso in a 1987 Topps in a PSA 9. We got a 1986 Topps Cal Ripken Jr. in a PSA 9. And my final two cards are two Jim Kelly rookies. First one came back in a PSA 8. And then the second one came back in a PSA 9. If you're interested in a Jim Kelly rookie, these will be posted on eBay, as I do have two PSA 10s already. If you looked at my top 50 cards in my collection video, you'll see those two Kellys in the listings. All right, for my second order that I got back on the same day, they came back on the 16th of January, both of them. This one was actually sent out a month later after that first submission was. They actually received it on, oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. Get rid of that one. So it was this one. They actually received this on the 18th of December. So this one was fast rolled through the process. And it came back on the 16th of January of this year. I paid $16.99 a card, 20 cards. As you can see, the total cost there came out to $385.18. And this one was the 1950 through 1979 special that they did for, I believe, the month of November. All right, so let's see what we got in this one. The bad news is there was a whole bunch of cards that didn't get graded. Out of the 20 cards that I sent in, 4 of them didn't get graded. The first one is this 1957 Ollie Matson. It looks like it's been miscut. I don't know where it's been miscut at. It's got good borders all around, but it looks like it was diamond cut. So maybe that's what they meant by a miscut. Second one is this 1970 Top Steve Carlton. PSA claims that it's minimum size. Next one is going to be this 1973 Topps Lance Allworth. Again, minimum size. This 1973 Oscar Robinson got a minimum size. And then this 1972 Topps Rene Robert. This is a really sharp looking card. It says it was minimum size. So those 4 cards didn't get graded. Actually, there's 5 cards here that didn't get graded. So 15 of them got graded. Some of them got really hammered on their grades. And some of them did, you know, what I expected them to get. So the first one, and this one got really hammered, is this Ken Anderson 1974 Topps Football, got a PSA 2. After looking at this card a little bit closer, I would have never sent this card in. There's a crease up here in the upper corner here. There's some edging issues. I think there's some surface damage too. Again, this one might have been one that I was looking at with not the best lighting, but anyways, it came back a 2. Next up for my Buffalo Bills collection is going to be this 1960 Flair Buster Ramsey, first coach of the Bills. Thought this card would have done at least a 7. You can see it's off center, top to bottom, and left to right, but outside of that, this card's in pretty good shape. Nonetheless, it came back a 6. Here's a nice 1954 Topps Warren Spahn and a PSA 2. I'm happy with that grade. I've had this card for a long time. Warren Spahn being from Buffalo, New York. He just one of my favorite players on the baseball side of things. Actually went to the same high school as my sons went to, so yeah, pretty happy to have this. I'm still on the search to pick up pick up his rookie card. Eventually I'll get to that point, but I'm happy with the 2. Okay, next up is this 1975 Topps Ken Dryden. This is an upgrade for me. I have a PSA 7.5 in my collection now, so this one will replace that, so I'll have a PSA 8. Got this nice PSA 7 1970 Topps Fred Dryer. Nice card. So I was going for an upgrade on this 1957 Topps Norm Van Brocklin. I already have a 5 in my collection, so there's another 5, so this one will be placed on eBay for sale. Another card for my Buffalo Bills collection. Very happy with this grade. A 1961 Topps. Come back in a PSA 8. Nice centering, nice color, good edges, corners were good. Now, if you've been watching my earlier videos, I've showed a bunch of videos where I was opening up a bunch of 1978 Topps football, and I did send some in, and these guys are really hard to get 8s and above, so whenever I can find them online for $15, basically the grading fee, or less, because I've picked up many cards that were, you know, under $10, that were 8s or higher. I try to do that, but I do also want to try to send some in, especially the bigger cards, the star cards, maybe some of the key rookies and stuff, to save me a little bit of money. So anyways, the 7s and below will be placeholders until I find an 8 or higher to replace it. So this first one is a Riley Odoms and a PSA 7. Next one, also another 7. Here's a rare upgrade from a PSA 8 to a PSA 9 on the Lyle Blackwood. This I pulled from one of the first pack I bought. I pulled this one out, and the card underneath this one was the Tony Dorsett card that I'm going to show here in a second. But anyways, I already have a PSA 8. I was hoping this would come back as at least an 8, but the edging on this side is pretty bad. Top and bottom's off just a little bit, so I mean it's understandable why it came back a 7. This next one, Wilbur Jackson, came back a 7. And again, these will all be, the ones I need will all be placeholders until I can find an 8. So the Tony Dorsett, this is the one that I pulled in the pack. It looks like it's a common theme for this card to be off center, especially on the left side of the card. I do have 2 5s, so this one will give me a 1 grade bump. But again, I gotta strive to get an 8, so hopefully I can catch me one in one of the packs. And I buy some from, now and then. And I do have, out of the 7 packs that I've opened already, I think I have about 25 cards that were gradable that I'll be sending in over time. I'm just waiting for the prices to come down because they just went to $19.99 a card, and that's, in my eyes, that's a little bit too much for grading. So I'm going to wait to catch some on maybe some deals or some specials, or get them online cheaper. All right, next up, Mike Schmidt rookie. Came back a PSA 4. This card has good value. I knew I wasn't going to get a very high grade on it. I thought I was going to get a miscut. I have cards that are much better looking than this, and I've come back miscuts, but I was just sending it in to see if they would grade it, and they did. They hammered it pretty good, though. It came back a PSA 4, but even at a PSA 4, I believe it's like $180 or $190. So happy to have it in my collection. And then the final card, another card that threw me off a little bit, is this PSA 4 Charlie Joyner rookie. Not sure why it got a 4. The card looks pretty good. The centering looks good on it. I couldn't see any major creases. The corners are not that soft where it should have got hit that hard. Even at a minimum, if I had 4 soft corners on there, should have been at least a 6. The back of the card doesn't look too bad either. I don't know, maybe this is a candidate to be resubmitted. But, I mean, you can find PSA 8s, 7 and 8s online for $40. I mean, it's almost worth just buying. I need his rookie for my Hall of Famer collection, so it'll sit as a placeholder until I get a better grade. All right, so those were the 2 PSA submissions I received over the last few days, and then I showed you a couple of cards that I got in the mail to add to my 1978 PSA set. So if you have any comments on the cards, I'd like to hear them. If you like what you saw in my video, please give me a like. And again, if you have anything you want to talk about any of the cards, or you have any insight on PSA and their grading, what your thoughts are on the price hike up to $19.99 a card for bulk, I'd like to know your comments on that. So just leave me a message. All right, I hope you liked the video, and I'll talk to you next time. All right, bye.